Y'all have lost y'all damn minds. You got to be crazy when you talk pressure with LeBron. The pressure. I just stop it, okay? Because people were turned off by the excessive physicality that folks were witnessing. This is the era that Michael Jordan had to go through. It was tough everywhere you turned, and the game was physical. LeBron comes in. By the time LeBron comes in, you could sit up there and get a technical.
There comes a point when conversation isn't enough, when the endless noise of barbershop debates, podcasts, and social media threads needs to be silenced by one undeniable truth. That's the moment Stephen A. Smith steps in. With his trademark fire and conviction, he delivers a message that slices through the chatter like a blade through silk. Michael Jordan faced a tougher NBA than LeBron James ever has. This isn't emotion. It's evidence. It's basketball history. Raw and unfiltered, Stephen A. isn't just talking about stats or rings. He's talking about context. Jordan's era wasn't cushioned by social media narratives or PR safety nets. There were no viral highlight reels to rewrite public opinion overnight. No corporate empires cushioning every misstep. Jordan walked into a league built on bruises and survival. The Detroit Pistons weren't trending. They were breaking you down physically. Boston wasn't a storyline. It was a war. The Eastern Conference wasn't just competitive. It was merciless. And yet, Jordan didn't flinch. He didn't build super teams, tweet through losses, or curate his image through filters. He took the hits, the rivalries, and the rage head on, and won anyway. That's what Stephen A. calls toughness. That's what separates legends made in the fire from stars protected by LeBron's greatness. Stephen A. admits, is unquestionable. The man has lived under the microscope since age 16, carrying expectations no player has ever known. But pressure and punishment are not the same thing. One tests your focus, the other tests your soul. And in Jordan's NBA, there were no nights off, no algorithm to boost your legacy, and no mercy for fatigue.so when Stephen A. raises his voice and says, "Stop it." He's not dismissing LeBron. He's defending the integrity of history. He's reminding everyone that greatness isn't just about numbers. It's about what you had to survive to get them. For Jordan, that meant surviving a league designed to humble you. For LeBron, it meant navigating one designed to celebrate you. Both remarkable, but only one forged his legend in blood, sweat, and bruises.
You got to be crazy when you talk pressure with LeBron. The pressure.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't deny LeBron James' greatness. He respects it. He acknowledges the immense pressure LeBron has carried since he was a teenager, the global spotlight that never blinked, and the relentless expectation that he would live up to a prophecy written before he ever played an NBA minute. And to LeBron's credit, he did. He met the hype, embraced the pressure, and performed with consistency that few athletes in history could match. But as Stephen A. reminds us, meeting the hype isn't the same as transcending it. Michael Jordan wasn't handed his crown. He had to fight for it every single night. There were no pre-written headlines, no chosen one tattoos, no corporate campaigns declaring him the savior of the sport. Jordan carved his name into the game the hard way, through rivalries that drew blood, through defenses designed to destroy him, through an era where fouls were closer to combat. The league didn't protect him, it targeted him. And yet, he rose above it, not by being marketed as the face of basketball, but by aiming that title with every championship, every clutch shot, every moment that left opponents broken and fans in. Or LeBron's NBA, Stephen A. argues, is a different battlefield. It's faster, cleaner, and heavily branded. Rules protect stars, spacing favor scorers, and media narratives shape legacies in real time. Jordan didn't have that luxury. He didn't just play in the spotlight. He built the stage it shines on. The punishment he took, the walls he broke through, the legends he dethroned, they are the foundation of what greatness even means today. That's why, when Stephen A. lays it out, there's no hesitation. LeBron may have been anointed, but Jordan was forged. LeBron inherited a legacy, Jordan defined it. One was crowned by anticipation, the other by domination. And that's the difference, the kind that can't be rewritten by stats, trends, or time. Michael Jordan didn't need to be called the greatest. He became the reason the word exists.
Because you said that you were the chosen one. Now, in fairness to LeBron James, he has more.
Stephen A. Smith isn't here to hate. He's here to clarify. His message cuts through the noise with surgical precision. You can respect LeBron James without rewriting basketball history. LeBron has carried a burden no athlete should ever have to. 2 decades under a microscope, every move analyzed, every failure magnified. And not only did he survive that, he thrived. Stephen A. gives him every ounce of credit for that. LeBron is an all-time great, a once-in-a-generation athlete who lived up to the myth that was built around him before he ever played a professional minute. But that acknowledgement, Stephen A. insists, cannot come at the expense of truth that LeBron's journey was legendary, but it was guided. He was supported by a media machine, embraced by a league eager to market its next global icon, and protected by rules that made sure stars stayed on the floor. That doesn't diminish his greatness, it defines his context. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, didn't inherit a platform. He built one. He came up in an era where hard foul meant hit the floor and don't complain. There were no brand partnerships cushioning his image, no viral clips boosting his legend. Every ounce of respect Jordan earned came through resistance, pain, and relentless competition. That's why Stephen A.'s line hits so hard. Celebrating LeBron is fair, but comparing his rise to Jordan's struggle is not. LeBron fulfilled a prophecy. Jordan created one. LeBron was handed the crown of expectation. Jordan forged the throne it sits on. The difference isn't talent, it's terrain. One man played through admiration, the other through assault. And to pretend those two roads are the same isn't homage. It's historical amnesia. Stephen A. isn't diminishing LeBron, his defending perspective. Because honoring greatness means telling the truth about what it took to earn it. Jordan didn't just walk through fire. He was the fire. And that, Stephen A. reminds us, is what true toughness looks like.
You're a big boy, you look like a passing on, but you're still a young pup. You might.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't tell fairy tales. He tells the truth, even when it cuts deep. When he talks about the NBA that Michael Jordan walked into, he strips away all the nostalgia and glamour. This wasn't the billion-dollar, brand-protected spectacle we see today. It was raw, unfiltered chaos. It was 1984, an era where the league was still fighting for respect, battling image problems, and defined by brutality, not polish. The NBA back then wasn't about hashtags and highlight reels. It was about survival. When Stephen A. says there was a lot of nonsense going on, he means a league where fists flew as often as jump shots, where referees swallowed their whistles, and where young players weren't celebrated. They were hunted. Michael Jordan wasn't ushered in with parades and promises. He wasn't the chosen one. He was the third pick in a league that made no room for hype. No social media armor. No global marketing engine. Just hardwood, sweat, and the certainty that no one was giving him anything. And that's what makes Jordan's rise so staggering. He didn't inherit greatness. He imposed it. He entered a storm and became the Thunder. The Pistons tried to break him. The Celtics tried to bury him. And every team he faced tried to test his threshold for pain. He didn't just survive. He redefined dominance in a league that had zero mercy for rookies or superstars alike. LeBron James, for all his brilliance, walked into a different reality. The NBA of 2003 was built to protect its assets, to ensure its stars could shine without being crushed. Hand-checking was gone. Flagrant fouls were policed. The game had shifted towards skill, finesse, and longevity. LeBron entered not as an underdog but as the league's investment, its golden promise of the future. His greatness was nurtured, broadcasted, and celebrated from day one. That doesn't diminish LeBron's excellence. It defines his era. But what Stephen A. is saying cuts to the core. Michael Jordan wasn't promoted by the system. He conquered it. He took a chaotic, unforgiving league and bent it to his will. He didn't rise because the NBA was ready for him. He rose because he forced the NBA to evolve around him.
NBA got a lot of nonsense going on in the National Basketball Association. Jordan comes in 84. He was the
Stephen A. Smith doesn't describe Michael Jordan's arrival. He recreates it. He doesn't use nostalgia. He uses impact. He wants you to feel the thunder in the air the moment Jordan stepped into the NBA, a league that had no intention of making room for him. There was no slow introduction, no gentle rise. Jordan entered like a lightning strike, immediate, electrifying, undeniable. He didn't wait to be accepted. He forced the league to acknowledge him. That's not confidence. That's defiance wrapped in talent. From day one, Jordan wasn't simply scoring. He was challenging the establishment. He walked into a league run by two giants, Magic Johnson, the magician of Showtime, and Larry Bird, the embodiment of cold precision and grit, and declared war on the era without ever saying a word. Stephen A. frames it perfectly. Jordan didn't wait for an opening. He created one. He kicked the door down and in doing so, redefined what superstardom looked like. Before him, the NBA revolved around dynasties, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Team First empires. After him, the league revolved around a single force of will that LeBron James, for all his greatness, entered a world that was already waiting for him. The system had been built to highlight stars, protect their image, and make their rise smooth. The stage was set, the cameras were rolling, the script was written. Jordan, he walked onto a stage that wasn't built for him and burned it down until it became his. He didn't inherit a league shaped to celebrate individuality. He invented that model. That's why Stephen A. refuses to blur the lines. Jordan's toughness wasn't manufactured. It wasn't scripted through media coverage or marketing campaigns. It was proven night after night in a league that wanted to break him. His dominance wasn't just about physical skill. It was about mental warfare, about walking into enemy territory and making it his home. Jordan's rise wasn't polished. It was primal. It was resistance turned into revolution. He didn't just play the game. He changed it. And that, Stephen A. reminds us, is what separates the chosen from the proven. LeBron entered a league prepared for greatness. Jordan built greatness from scratch, and then made everyone else chase it.